And we are live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. Just a quick little live stream, nothing special, nothing too fancy or anything like that. Yeah, just some boxing talk, We'll see how it goes. We'll see what topics come up. But yeah, man, just a quick one, really. Just a quick one. Okie dokie, 1 second, lads. MMA champ, big up to you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well. Big Dan, you think people are going to be shocked when COVID-21 comes about? No, not at all. Well, people like me won't be shocked anyway, but there we go. Yeah, the general the general population will be, I'm sure, Big Dan. But me personally, I mean, I come to expect anything now in regards to COVID. People are still buying it, but there we go. Harvey Hughes, big up to Harvey. Hopefully you're doing well. Salute to Timmy Nealon. MMA champ, he says, we got Crawford versus Brook this weekend. What's your predictions? To be honest, mate, I've got Crawford by late stoppage. I just don't believe Kell Brook has it anymore. A couple of really bad losses to Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence, going back down to 147 after three and a half years. To me, it's not looking too promising for Kell Brook. I would like to see him put up a fight, but I see Terence Crawford breaking him down and stopping him late on, maybe to the body. But yeah, I expect Crawford to win and win quite well, to be honest. But you never know. We could be surprised. Who knows? Boxing's a crazy sport. Big up the Boxing Virus as well in the chat. Chris Hayes, he's got Kell Brook. Jamstar, big up to Jamstar. Big up to Benjo as well. Shout out to Benjo. MMA champ MXBC, what are your thoughts on Plant versus Canelo December 19th? Do you know what? I really like that fight. I think Caleb Plant will give Canelo problems early on with his movement, with the jab. But once Canelo settles into it, once he starts finding that body, he'll slowly start chopping Caleb Plant down and basically grind him down, maybe to a late stoppage. It's a good style matchup. Canelo sometimes struggles with long-range boxers, but I expect Canelo to win that fight. But it's a good fight. I like that fight. I wasn't expecting to see Canelo at all this year, so I'm kind of happy. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Plant can certainly box, He's a good boxer. Nice jab, nice movement, relatively good defense. He's decent. He's decent. So it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Yeah, Big Dan, Ioka versus Tanaka confirmed for New Year's Eve. Very good fight. I've got Ioka winning that one personally. I think Ioka's going to old man him. The body work as well from Ioka. He's relentless. I think he's going to do it. It's a good fight, though. It's a good fight. Theo Badeau, what's more fake, boxing or the presidential elections? Probably on the same level, mate, to be honest. Probably on the same level. But yeah, regardless, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Carlos Mendoza, Crawford versus a washed-up Kell Brook who doesn't belong at 147 and hasn't been the same since the Golovkin fight is a cherry pick. It's an improvement of what he's been fighting at 147, but still, yeah, it's one of those fights, really. I mean, I really wasn't expecting anything special from Terence Crawford's next fight, and arguably Kell Brook is one of the best names available, so it is what it is, really, He needs to be active. He needs to fight. Why not Kell Brook? I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. I'm not paying for it, but I'll stream it. I'll watch it. And you never know. Maybe Kell Brook can rewind the clock one more time. I doubt it, but who knows? Who knows? Jamstar, I think Brook's going to be competitive for the first 6 rounds and Crawford will take over and stop him in the 10th. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Brook has success early on when he's fresh. Crawford sometimes is a bit of a slow starter. We saw that in the Jose Benavidez fight, the Aegis Kavalauskas fight. He can start slowly and he can get caught early on. Maybe Brook has success in those first 3 rounds. But after that, I expect Crawford to really take over and do a job, to be honest. I do. Mr. Man MC, I'm having to unsub from some good YouTubers lately. One saying it's Fury's word against Wilder's. Yeah, it's ridiculous, Mr. Man. It's ridiculous. If Deontay has all of this proof, why not go to court? sue Tyson Fury for millions of dollars, get your belt back. Because if this was proven in court, that loss would be overturned and you would get your belt back and a massive financial lump sum. If Deontay has all of this proof, why not go to court? If this guy was drugged by his trainer, Mark Breland, why did the post-fight test results come up negative of any substances? Come on now, people actually believe this nonsense. People actually believe it. It's insane. But there we go. There we go. Harvey Hughes, Kell Brook looks juiced up. Portugal is the place to go in order to get shredded. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that in regards to Kell Brook. It looks in very good shape. And with COVID, or the so-called coronavirus, how is testing going on right now? What is the extent of testing for these big fights? You know, I've heard that VADA aren't really testing right now. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but maybe that explains Kell Brook's fantastic shape. Who knows? But, you know, regardless, I would still expect Terence to do the job, to be honest. I still expect Terence to do it. Benjo, he says, where is the Brook fight? Just want to know the time of the main event. In the UK, sorry, the fight takes place in Vegas. So in the UK, I would imagine fight's going to start about 4:30 a.m. in the morning, I would say. About 4:30 in the morning, more than likely. Good evening to ABC. Shout out to Andre as well. Yeah, I've got Bud as well, Andre. I think Bud's going to stop him late on. Like I said, I like Kell Brook. I really do. I think the guy's wasted his talent by fighting nobodies, taking too long to step up, not living the life outside the ring. I believe in Kell Brook's talent, but he's left it too late. He's past his best. And Terence, I expect, will do a number on him. But we'll see. We'll see. I would like to see Kell Brook do well, but I can't really see it personally. Yeah, ABC Def, I'm not really into it yet. Maybe on a couple of days before the fight, yeah, maybe I'll start getting interested. But right now, I'm not really feeling that Kell Brook fight. Yeah, Timmy Nealon, I saw that Luis Ortiz fight. That was suspect to say the least. His opponents, was it Alexandra Flores? He was in terrible shape. The guy had titties. I mean, come on now. He looked awful. And yeah, Luis Ortiz got the knockout. But the knockout looked very fishy to me. But yeah, I mean, that fight done Luis Ortiz no favors whatsoever. What was the point in that garbage? I mean, come on. Why not chuck Luis Ortiz in there with Gerald Washington if he wants a comeback fight? This dude was terrible, man. Alexander Flores, come on now. If you're going to have a tune-up fight, right, at least fight somebody half decent, somebody who can box a bit, go a few rounds. Someone like Gerald Washington would have been ideal if Ortiz wants a tune-up. But that guy was a disgrace, honestly. Absolute disgrace. Crazy D3, he's got Bud Crawford by round 9 knockout. Yeah, TKO. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. Last sort of 2-3 rounds for Terence Crawford, late stoppage. I think the bodywork of Crawford is going to be key, to be honest. He's going to slow Kell Brook down, drain him, and stop him late on. Crazy D3, is Hrgovic versus Hunter a realistic possibility? Well, apparently Hrgovic has said he'd fight Michael Hunter, and Michael Hunter has come out and said, yeah, he'll take that fight. So there's no reason for it not to happen. Both guys have said they'll take it. Let's get it done. It's a great fight. I like Michael Hunter a lot. One of my favorite heavyweights. And Hrgovic is one of the best prospects in the division. So that's a great fight. Really, really good fight. Hrgovic obviously the much bigger man, more powerful. But Hunter, quick, agile, a good punch output. That's going to be a really good fight if that happens. Also, Zhilei Zhang, he called out Filip Hrgovic as well, which wouldn't be a bad fight, but I'd rather see Michael Hunter versus Hrgovic personally. But yeah, that's what I want to see from Hrgovic next, a step up. That's what I want to see. Yeah, Benjo, mate, Benjo, I've had loads of people talk to me about masks as well. Loads of people. I don't really pay any mind to them though. I'm going to do my thing and that's it. MMA champ Bud, former undisputed and a free division champion, beat a prime Gamboa and a prime Postal, etc. I think Postal's his best win personally because Postal was his size basically. Gamboa really, in my opinion, wasn't a lightweight. He was best at featherweight, Yuriorkis Gamboa. I think Crawford's best win is Victor Postal. That was a good win. Felix Diaz, underrated fighter, solid win. Ray Beltran, tough Mexican, good fighter. Terence Crawford's got what I would call solid wins, but he doesn't have that spectacular win on his resume, in my opinion. That's Crawford's problem right now. He doesn't have that standout name at the moment. That's what he's been looking for. That's what he needs as well. He needs that standout opponent like a Errol Spence, like a Manny Pacquiao, even a Sean Porter. These are the guys we want to see Terence fight, really. Michael Van Gerwen, big up to Michael Van Gerwen. What is next for Joe Joyce if he loses? Maybe Joe Joyce versus Nathan Gorman. I could see that happening, to be honest, on a BT show. I could see that. Joe Joyce versus someone like Kalnaki, Hellenius, these sort of fights for Joe Joyce. It would be hard if Joe Joyce lost because he's 35 years old. Nobody really is going to put any energy into building him back up. So if he loses, probably in a bad spot, to be honest, Joe Joyce. Probably in a bad spot. Crazy D3, I think Hunter's the genuine boogeyman of this era. Yeah, he's in the Who Needs Him club, Crazy D3, because he's not got a big name. He's a small heavyweight, and you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you lose to Michael Hunter, you lost to a blown-up cruiserweight. If you struggle, you struggled against a blown-up cruiserweight. And if you beat him, there's going to be people out there who don't really give you any credit. So Michael Hunter right now is, in the Who Needs Him club, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think he's a good fighter. I honestly think Michael Hunter's going to give a lot of guys problems in the heavyweight division, just based on his agility, his athleticism, his boxing ability, his speed. I think he's going to give guys problems. I really do. I really do. Jack Catterall's fighting on the Dubois versus Joyce card. I heard that, Big Dan. I don't expect him to fight anybody good because obviously he's the mandatory. He's taking step-aside money, so just expect a tick-over fight for Jack Catterall, like maybe a tough sort of South American fighter, that sort of thing. Just a tick-over fight for Jack Catterall. A guy who can go a few rounds, that sort of thing. Andre, I think Canelo stops Plant late. So do I, Andre. I've never been sold on Caleb Plant's stamina. I think he tired in the Porky Medina fight in the last couple of rounds, and he tired against Uskatigi as well late on. Canelo is a master body puncher, one of the best in the sport. I expect Canelo to basically break him down. Plant's going to start quite well first 3 or 4 rounds with his boxing, but yeah, I expect Canelo to get on top, work that body, and probably force a late stoppage. That's what I see for Canelo in that fight. Harvey Hughes, what are your predictions for Spence versus Garcia? I'm saying Spence on points. Yeah, I mean, I've not made my prediction video yet. The only reason I'm kind of hesitant is obviously what's happened with Errol Spence Jr. It makes it kind of hard for me, but if I had a gun to my head, I would say Spence on points as well, to be honest. Danny Garcia is a tough dude, great chin. I'd be surprised if Errol stops him. If he stops Danny, it's going to be to the body. But yeah, I think Danny's going to go the distance, have a few good moments here and there. He'll make it a good fight, but he'll lose on points. Salute to L-Dog, man. Big up to L-Dog. Long time no see, L-Dog, so hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're doing well. Yes, sir. Big up to Levi Khan. Big up to Levi Khan. Man like Levi out there in NYC. Big up to Levi, though, every time. Yeah, I agree, ABC. I think there's a good chance Canelo stops Plant with body shots. Jim McDonald boxing in the house, man. Big up to Jim McDonald. Big up, Jim. Hopefully Liz is doing well. Keeping herself in good shape, earning her wage. That's what I like to hear. Big up to Jim, man. Big up to Jim. Yeah, L-Dog, with Filip Pergovic, yeah, I saw a lot of reaction to his performance. A lot of people said he looked bad. I felt Filip Pergovic looked pretty good, showed some good punch output. Right hand was on point, and he ground him down and stopped him. Done what Kubrat Pulev couldn't do. In my opinion, Hrgović looked pretty good. Sometimes he gets a little bit predictable, throws the same combinations, but he looked quite good in my opinion. Hrgović now needs a step up, though. He needs a step up fight. Like I said, someone like Michael Hunter would be a great fight for Filip Hrgović. Even Zhang Zhili or Zhili Zhang, whatever his name is, that'd be a good step up as well. Somebody with ambition is who Hrgović needs to fight next. Big up to G-Man Boxing. Salute to G-Man. Big up to G-Man. G-Man's got a channel as well, by the way. Really, really good stuff. I highly recommend his content. He was he actually uploaded a Deontay Wilder video today, 50 minutes long, I believe, which I've not watched yet. So I'll probably watch that either tomorrow when I'm working or maybe even after this stream. Big up to G-Man though every time. Big up to BG London in the house as well. Shout out to BG London. I'm good, brother. I'm really good, mate. Really good. MMA champ, Hrgović is the next Vitaly Klitschko. Do you know what? I've said that as well in regards to the styles. There are certain stylistic similarities between Hrgović and Vitaly. The stance, in my opinion, is very, very similar. And it's how he maneuvers around the ring. His jab is more of a rangefinder behind the right hand. He kind of leans back to avoid punches more so than block or slip. He does have similarities with Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly, to me, though, was a bit more dynamic. His hand speed was a bit better. His combinations were a bit better. And Vitaly was a lot more awkward, in my opinion. He kind of attacked at angles. But yeah, he definitely reminds me of Vitaly in certain senses. No doubt about it. No doubt. Rydell Booker said after the fight that he is broke and he needed the money, couldn't even train, still struggling, said it's hard for ex-cons during the pandemic, can't find work. Yeah, I can imagine, Levi Khan, I can imagine. Hopefully he got paid relatively well, you know, so he can keep on going for a few months. But yeah, I can imagine. It's hard for anybody. If you've lost your job right now during this pandemic, it's going to be hard for anybody, man. So let alone a felon. So yeah, hopefully he gets back on his feet, Rydell Booker. Tough man, I'll give him that. He's got a good chin because Hrgović was hitting him flush at times and he was taking those shots well. So yeah, Rydell Booker, tough boy. Tough old boy, man. Tough old guy. Really tough dude. Big up to Jerome Benjamin in the chat as well, every time. Big up to you, sir. Jim McDonald Boxing, he says, I was impressed with Hrgović, but that hooker shot to bits and his corner was embarrassing. Yeah, he had some female in his corner who was awful. Not saying that because she was female, but yeah, terrible. Totally terrible. BG London, sorry, I'm terrible with boxing schedules. Who's fighting this weekend? BG, you've got Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford in America. And I believe, I might be wrong on this, but I believe on Friday you've got Denzel Bentley versus Mark Heffron too, which I really enjoyed that first fight. So I'm pleased that rematch is happening so soon. I've got Denzel Bentley winning the rematch. I picked him first time around. I felt he just about maybe nicked the first fight. So I'm looking forward to that rematch. Yo, big up to G-Man. No need to monetize now. Yeah, man. To be fair, mate, to be fair, I've not really sworn all that much in this live stream. I've been pretty good so far. So yeah, thank you very much for the contribution, though, G-Man. Much appreciated. Big up to G-Man every time. Every single time. Levi Khan, he says Zhang is pretty decent overall. He's and is a big payday in China, whoever lands it. Yeah, he is. He is, Levi. I would like to see him in there with somebody half decent, though. They was talking about a Chisora fight. I think that'd be a good move for Zhili Zhang, Derek Chisora. That'd be a good fight for him right now. And yeah, I'm not all that sold on Zhili Zhang, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He moves quite well for a big man. You know, he's got relatively good power, southpaw. He's okay, Zhili Zhang, but yeah, I'm not convinced, to be honest. Boxing virus, Dubois is going to KO Hrgović with a jab. Hopefully we get that fight in the future, no doubt. Hopefully. Erickson Lubin, the next Quincy Taylor. Bruv, Erickson Lubin, man. He's getting knocked out when he steps up again, trust me. That guy's chin is made of porcelain, honestly. That guy's chin is really bad. I think he's a good boxer, though, but his chin is just really, really poor. And to me, yeah, when I saw him fight, who did he fight last fight? Terrell Gausha, whatever his name is. To me, yeah, Erickson Lubin, he still looks like a guy who is suffering PTSD from that knockout loss to Jamel Charlo back in the day. It's still not left him at this moment, in my opinion. I think that's in the back of his mind when he got knocked out by Jamel Charlo. Yeah, the undercard's terrible, Big Dan. The undercard's terrible, mate. But I like the main event. It's a good main event. Franco or Maloney? I've got Franco again, Andre. I think Franco was just a bit too relentless for Maloney first time around, and I think he's going to build on that, maybe even get a stoppage this time around. Franco obviously trains with Robert Garcia. Got great sparring down there, a great coach, and yeah, he brings that pressure. So I've got Franco winning again. Could be a good fight, though. Maloney's a tough old boy himself, so it's going to be a good fight. Look at G-Man trying to trigger me. With female boxing. Katie Taylor, Rachel Ball, all fighting this weekend. I'm so happy. I'm sure you are, G-Man. I'm sure you are. Big up to G-Man, though. Jamstar, don't see Hunter knocking out Hrgovic or getting a decision, even if he deserves it. That's the thing with Michael Hunter, Jamstar. He's susceptible to getting robbed, basically, Michael Hunter. He's not a big name. He's got no fan base, not a big money guy. So, yeah, and he's got no promoter. So, you're right. You're right, mate. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, man. Yeah, man, exactly, L-Dog. Smash the like button. I can't disagree, Levi Khan. I agree with that statement. The US public is tired of seeing these stay busy fights for Bud Crawford. He's losing momentum and getting older. Top Rank, you're blowing it, son. Yeah, exactly, bro. But interestingly enough, there was an interview with Terence Crawford with Brian Custer, I want to say. And in that interview, Brian Custer asked him about his future with Top Rank. And Terence Crawford said he's not got too long left with Top Rank. He said a few months up to a year, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he basically said. So at max, apparently, according to Terence Crawford, he's got a year left at Top Rank. So maybe you could see this guy moving to the PBC sooner rather than later. I think at this stage, that's what he needs right now, unfortunately. He needs to go to PBC and get these fights. Simple as that. Hashman Boxing, I liked the Zhang performance. Never rated him, to be honest, though. Yeah, listen, he did his job. Against a less than stellar opponent. Got the knockout, good finish. And yeah, he's okay. Just a fringe contender, I would say, Zhilei Zhang. G-Man Boxing, to be fair to Zhang, I thought him versus Vargas was going to go the distance. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I've just got no faith in Zhilei Zhang at all. For a big man, I don't think he's the hardest puncher. He carries okay power, but, for a lump like that, you would expect them to carry more concussive power. He's not really a massive puncher like that. Carries good volume, though, throws a fair few punches. And he throws body work as well for a big heavyweight. He actually goes to the body, which is pretty good. So he's okay, man. He's okay. Levi Khan, Danny Morrell, odds he loses in his pro debut, the special needs kid that Dave Allen trains. Yeah, Danny Morrell. I mean, he's fighting on that MTK card on Wednesday, I believe. I'm not going to be watching, mate. If he's associated with Dave Allen, no, not watching. Exactly, John Doe. Exactly. That's how I kind of saw it as well, mate. Looked pretty decent, but yeah, he was supposed to. Gary Russell's the next Eddie Hobson. Javier Maciel back in Argentina on Friday versus unbeaten Alejandro Silva. Never heard of Alejandro Silva, to be honest, Levi Khan. I've heard of Maciel, though. Didn't he fight Brian Rose back in the day, I want to say? I think he fought Brian Rose. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Terrell Gausha was a good amateur. He was a 2012 Olympian, Terrell Gausha, or 2016, something like that. Yeah, he was a good amateur, but he's never really panned out as a pro. Got a boring style as well, in my opinion. Boring style. Nathan, he says, I like Zhang. He's got a good nickname, Big Bang. He needs to step up at his age. Guys like Bakole, Huey, Chisora would be good fights. Yeah, speaking of Bakole, his next fight's been announced for the Joshua Pulev undercard. He's fighting Sergey Kuzmin. That fight's been rescheduled, so that's good news. That's a good fight. Bakole versus Kuzmin. Good fight, man. Good fight. Yeah, boxing virus, I agree. Dubois being better matched, but at the same time, it's not like Dubois not fought complete cannon fodder. Do you know what I mean? He's taken a big step up now, but he's fought his fair share of cab drivers and cannon fodder, to be honest. But we're going to see what he's about in a couple of weeks. Okay, the guy who Billy Joe stopped last year returns at 168 in Argentina this Friday. Yeah, I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see him again because he actually put up a really good fight against Billy Joe. He gave Billy Joe some real problems. I thought he was winning that fight until he got stopped. So yeah, I'll be interested to see him again. Copend09, I just want to remind people that the likes of Billy Joe Saunders and Liam Smith left Frank to join Son of Barry to get the big fights. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Quite frankly, with Billy Joe Saunders, I don't think Frank Warren really was disappointed at all when he left. I think Frank realised that Billy Joe, while he's a really good fighter, was just too much hassle, too much of a headache. And in the end, I think, yeah, he was happy to get rid of him or not renew his contract, whatever happened. But yeah, you're right, man. You're right. See, Liam Smith, yeah, why not just chuck Liam Smith in there with who? I mean, chuck Liam Smith in there with Scott Fitzgerald, for example. That'd be a good fight. I'd watch it. Chuck Liam Smith in there with Sergio Garcia. These are the sort of fights for Liam Smith right now. No world level fights, no world title fights. Fight at European level, that sort of area. Fight Sergio Garcia. That's what I would say. Getting fucking, yeah. Jim McDonald boxing. He's getting hyped for Brook versus Crawford. So I am. I think Brook's going to cause him problems for 6 rounds at least. Maybe early on, Jim. But I see Terence taking over, working that body and breaking Kell down, to be honest. Hopefully I'm wrong. L-Dog, Rydell Booker would have beat Dubois' last 2 opponents. Do you know what, L-Dog? I agree. He would have beaten Ricardo Schneiders. And who was the guy before that? Was it Ebenezer Tete, maybe? He would have beat him as well. I actually agree, L-Dog, to be honest. Genuinely agree. Yeah, Doherty versus Cullen's a good fight, Nathan. I think Doherty's gonna knock him out, though, to be honest. Sealy Zhang's going to be the next 007. Fucking hell. Name one fight on the schedule better than Ioka versus Tanaka. At world level, there's none. There's none at world level. I'll tell you what, I am genuinely super excited for Dubois versus Joyce, though. But I can't really put that on the same level because there's no world title involved. So yeah, do you know what? Ioka versus Tanaka probably is the best fight for the rest of the year. And that fight, in my opinion, should have pound-for-pound implications. The winner of that fight deserves to be in any pound-for-pound list, without question. Because I still see these guys getting missed out quite regularly. So yeah, hopefully the winner actually gets his credit and actually, gets on these official pound-for-pound lists. Rolando Romero's the next Marcos Maidana, more like the next fucking... Oh, mate, honestly, Rolly Romero's bad, honestly. He's bad. Throws one punch at a time, loads up. Yeah, he could be exciting to watch in that, but he's not a great boxer, in my opinion. He's not great at all. Compare him to someone like Teofimo Lopez, for example. It's night and day. Honestly, I think Rolando Romero, whatever his name is, I think he would struggle with James Tennyson, to be honest. Genuinely. Why did Hearn ditch Hunter? Was it because he helped Ruiz prepare for Joshua? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. One thing about Eddie Hearn, I think he's a good promoter, but I don't think he's necessarily great at spotting talent. I don't think he knows all that much about boxing on a technical sense. I just don't think he realised what he had in Michael Hunter, to be honest. I really don't. Eddie Hearn's an accountant by his dad was an accountant. He's a numbers man, Eddie Hearn, and Michael just doesn't really do the numbers like that. That's how I see it, anyway. Imagine the scenes if Zhang sparked out Joshua, in China in the bird's nest. Can you imagine? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Yes, big up to Matt. Shout out to Matt. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well, mate. I agree, Hashman. I agree. I picked Bentley first time around, and this time around, I think Bentley knows what he needs to do, and I think he's got the ability to adjust and make it better second time around. So I've got Bentley again. But yeah, hopefully he's, like you say, actually, hopefully he's more assertive in this fight, a bit more aggressive, because I think the knockout's there against Heffron. Again, I don't think he needs to be gung-ho like he was in early fights. Just box like he did last time, but just use a bit more initiative. Be more assertive, land those big shots, and I think he can get the knockout. He's got the power to hurt Mark Heffron. So yeah. Miguel Burchell's the next Eric Morales. Jesus, mate, come on. I like Burchell though, but yeah, he's no Morales. Nathan, he says Frank Sanchez is pretty good. I think he needs better fights though. Yeah, Frank Sanchez, good boxer mover, physically fit guy. I don't believe his age. Apparently he's 28 years old. Looks more like 38 if you ask me. But yeah, Frank Sanchez, good boxer. I think he can give guys problems. There's a lot of prospects right now in the division, but none of these guys are really making that move. The only two who are Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois. They're the only two who are really taking a risk. These other guys need to take risks, fight each other, fight contenders kind of thing, fight fringe level guys. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Frank Sanchez. Good fighter, decent fighter in my opinion. Ditsy Tom, Deontay Wilder's now claiming that Tyson Fury paid his ancestry spirit not to show up. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, mate, Ditsy Tom. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Boxing Virus, I've still not made my official prediction, to be honest with you, mate. I'm kind of still in the air with it, that prediction. I'm kind of still umming and ahhing. I'm leaning towards Dubois. I think I'll go with Dubois, to be honest, but I'm not sure which method yet, to be honest. I'm not sure what method he wins it in. There we go. 1 second, lads. Let me just get rid of that shit. Where the fuck am I at? Totally lost where I was, by the way. Totally lost where I was. BG London, he says, the betting odds for Kell Brook is 25-1, draw 7-1. You got to put a cheeky tenner. Yeah, maybe. Again, though, nah. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Who will Marcellus Wilder or Deontay Wilder box? Sorry, who will box sooner, Marcellus Wilder or Deontay Wilder? Deontay. I think Marcellus is going to retire, to be honest. He knows he can't fight at all. He's got no chin. Yeah, he's awful. Marcellus Wilder. I think Deontay eventually is going to come back, maybe in a couple of years' time, 18 months' time. I think it'll take a long time for Deontay to get back, though, to be honest. He'll fight a couple of knockover jobs, get one more big payday and call it a day. That's what I see Deontay Wilder doing. Yeah, that whole fight, Chris Hayes, with Kell Brook and Terence Crawford, nobody is talking about it at all. It's because it's not on a major TV channel in the UK. It's on Premier Sports. So nobody even knows it's happening over here, to be honest. Nobody knows. Apart from the hardcore boxing fans, obviously. Yeah, I can't see Kell winning either. BG London. Crawford late stoppage. Intangible boxing news. If Kosei Tanaka wins, he's above Terence Crawford, pound for pound. Yo, his resume would be tight at that point, considering his age and the amount of fights he's had, and the amount of weight classes in which he's won world titles. I mean, that resume is pretty decent. Oh, Christ. Jim McDonald's boxing. He says, I want to see Crawford's wife versus a 20-inch deep pan stuffed crust toad. So I do. Fuck's sake. Yeah, boxing virus, I agree, mate. He is bad. He's one punch at a time, like I said. No feints, no jabs, no combinations. Just so predictable, man. So predictable. Rolly Romero has brain damage. He's got something wrong with him, John Doe. He's got something wrong with him. Just his mannerisms and how he talks, and yeah, he just comes across a bit what's the politically correct term? Yeah, just not all there, I would say. Not all there. That's the best one yet. Teofimo the next Andre Berto. Oh shit. Christ. Yeah, with Crawford though, Hashman, I think with Crawford, people recognise he's a very good fighter, but in my opinion, he doesn't have a resume to back up. He's not got that resume to me. He's got some good solid wins like Postal, like I said, Postal, Felix Diaz, Jeff Horn, Ray Beltran. I think all of these are solid wins, but he's not got that standout win yet. I think that's the thing with Crawford. His resume is just not that deep in terms of quality right now. That's his problem. Yeah, exactly. Unrivaled. Crawford's resume's piss. His achievements are sick. Yeah, I wouldn't say his resume's piss. I would just say it's average. To be honest, I would say it's average. Like I think Felix Diaz at the time was a good win. Like I said, Postal, Beltran, Horn. These are decent wins. Decent though, not great. Decent. Just my opinion. Yeah, I can't see it, boxing virus. I think Hrgovic has got a good chin. He showed it in the amateurs at least. He always took power well in the amateurs. Never got dropped, never got stopped. Hrgovic is a tough dude, no doubt about it. Tough dude. That's the most apt comparison so far. Ryan Garcia is the next Oscar De La Hoya. In terms of marketability, he could be. Whether he achieves anything close to Oscar De La Hoya is debatable to say the least. But yeah, Ryan's good, man. Ryan's good. I'm doing good, Adam. How about yourself? I'm sound as a pound, free as a bird, whatever you want to say. I'm good. I'm good. Got a pint of Guinness here as well, so I'm okay, mate. I'm pretty good. Boxing virus. Crawford is an underachiever, in my opinion. Yeah, at this stage, I would have expected him to have had bigger fights. To be honest, whose fault it is, whether it's his fault, whether it's Top Rank's fault, whether it's PBC's fault, whether it's a mixture of all, I don't know. But regardless, he's not had the fights that I would expect from him. To be honest, the thing is though, MMA champ, like to me, Gamboa's never been a lightweight. What's he done at lightweight apart from lose? He lost to Crawford, Tank Davis, and Devin Haney this weekend. He's never beat anybody good at lightweight. His best win at lightweight is Darlis Perez, who at best was like a fringe level fighter, in my opinion. Gamboa was sick at featherweight. Brilliant fighter at featherweight. Just a great fighter to watch. At lightweight, nah. He's too small. Far too small. Far too small. But Postal, good win. You know, Postal was a good win. Felix Diaz, Jeff Horn, Beltran. I think these are good wins. Yeah, I agree. Unrivaled. To me, Gamboa was never he was never the same at 135. Never. Never looked as good at all. Indeed, L Dog. Yeah, that sort of time period, around that time at 126. Totally agree, L Dog. Totally agree. No worries, Paul123. I'll try to, mate. I'll try to. Time for me, though, recently has been a bit of a pain in regards to live streams. I can always make time for a video here and there. I record a lot of videos at once. But yeah, live streams sometimes are a bit tricky for me. But in the new year, I'm going to make a few changes. So yeah, I'll more than likely have more time in the new year. But as of right now, it's going to be once every now and then kind of thing. Big up to official Scorecard Boxing Science. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, LT, Tanaka versus Ioka, New Year's Eve. Yep. New Year's Eve never fails to deliver in Japan. They've put on some great fights over there in the last few years. So yeah, that's gonna be brilliant. Brilliant fight. Ioka all day. Ioka's gonna old man Tanaka. He's gonna work for body and he's gonna drown him late on. You've heard it here first. Ioka is gonna drown Tanaka. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna take him swimming and he's gonna drown. That's what's gonna happen. You've heard it here first. Good fight, though, man. It's a really good fight. Really good fight. Yeah, exactly, official, man. You tell him. Smash the like. Smash the like. Christ, I'm fucking behind, ain't I? Am I behind? I'm well behind. Jesus Christ. See, I'm fucking... This is another thing. I'm terrible with these live streams. In regards to, fucking trying to catch up. I'm terrible. Justice Honey would beat Daniel Dubois right now. It's hard to say, L-Dog, but I do rate... From what I saw of Honey... Or is it Hooney or Honey? I'm going to say Honey. From what I saw of Honey the other week, looks very good. Looks a very, very good heavyweight prospect, Justice Honey. Big up to AZ, man. Big up to AZ. Truth Son. Salute to you, man. Big up to Truth Son for the contribution. Respect, mate. Hope you're well. A lot of opinions today are like childish, emotional fluctuations. Dave Allen is a fanboy, Lovejoy. Yeah, Dave Allen is a fanboy, Lovejoy. What? Hang on. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Truth Son. But yeah, you're right. A lot of there's a lot of that kind of just... I don't know, man. But I've made a couple of videos on it recently in regards to the boxing scene on YouTube and online in general. It's become really, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's just this social media age that we live in, really, innit? Just say outlandish shit for clicks, make outlandish claims for clicks. And yeah, it's just childish, like you said. It's completely childish, man. Completely childish. Yeah, I like Makabu. I like Makabu, Nathan. Makabu's a very decent cruiserweight. Very decent cruiserweight. I want to see Makabu versus Briadis before Briadis maybe moves up. That'd be a good unification fight. Be a good unification fight right there. Yeah, Postal was very good. Yeah, that was a good win for Crawford. Postal's his best win, no doubt about it. And Crawford handled him well. Crawford really handled him well. The only problem with Crawford's performance, though, was at the time, the consensus was, while he clearly beat Postal, he stunk the joint out. That was the problem for Terence Crawford in that fight. But yeah, he beat him easily, really. He beat him comprehensively. The AJ undercard's looking good so far. Yeah, what is the undercard so far, Jamstar? Obviously, we've got the main event. We've got Sergey Kuzmin versus Martin Bakole, Lawrence Okolie versus Krzysztof Glowacki. Yeah, so far, that's a good card. I've heard rumours of John Ryder versus David Lemieux. I'll tell you what, that could be a really good card, Jamstar. That could be a really good card. If that card is that stacked, I'll actually buy that. And you know how tight I am with pay-per-views. I'll actually buy that. Why is Crawford married to a hippo? Boy is doing extremely poor sexually. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't. Listen, maybe he's into that sort of thing. Each to his own. Each to his own. Christ. Breaking news. Oh, he's going to fight in Zagreb. L-Dog. Hrgovic is going to fight in Zagreb. I can see that just by the link. But it's good to see him go back home to fight, you know? It's good, man. It's good. Unrivaled boxing talk. Del Boy, honestly, whose resume is better, Crawford's or Broner's? In terms of wins, Crawford. In terms of names fought, Broner. Broner's fought Pacquiao, Maidana, Porter, Mikey Garcia. Broner's fought better competition, but he's not beat any of them. That's the only thing. But yeah, in terms of pure wins, Crawford's is better. Crawford's is better. Yeah, Brandon Blanco, I would certainly agree with Gamboa. I think the guy's a massive underachiever. People forget how good that guy was at 126, man. He was a great fighter to watch. Really, really good fighter. Punching power. He was explosive. Good counter puncher. He could box as well. Gamboa was a brilliant, brilliant talent. He really was. He could have reigned at 126 for a long time, in my opinion. But I think Gamboa just got lazy, went to the US, made a bit of money, and I think he got a bit lazy. That was Gamboa's problem. But he was, in my opinion, Gamboa was a brilliant fighter. Really, really good fighter. Yeah, Zepeda, Nathan. Zepeda is definitely underrated. Very good boxer, carries power, good counter puncher. Yeah, he's a good fighter, man. Very good fighter. Big up to John Gonzalez, the main man. Big up to John. Salute to the BDA family, as always, man. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Exactly, Hash, man. That's what I was saying with Broner. I mean, Crawford, to me, it's about wins, really. It's about the wins. But yeah, big up to Truth Son as well, again, for the super chat donation. Much appreciated. Tanaka looks like an ugly virgin. Ioka looks like a Chad. He cheated on his celebrity wife and fucked the nanny. You got to love it. You've got to love it, L-Dog. You got to love it. Yes, Special K this weekend. Hopefully he can deliver a special performance. I don't expect it to happen, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'd like to see Kell Brook finally finally achieve something in his career which merits his talent. Because a Porter win alone, in my opinion, is not good enough. Kell Brook's more talented than that. He should have achieved a lot more, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Brook do well. Sorry. Boxing Virus. I've also got Huni beating Hrgovic. Yeah, I mean he's fighting again soon. Justice Honey. He's fighting some guy who's like 3-0. So yeah, he's going to be moving quickly by the sounds of it. They're not going to mess around with him. They're not going to mess around. That's true, John, though. He beat a nobody, but in terms of your first pro fight, like that level of opponent is better than most fighters fight against, kind of thing. Like the level of opponent was good for your first pro fight, in my opinion. And I thought he looked quite good, showed some good hand speed, good combination punching. He switched stances quite effectively as well. He looked quite good, in my opinion. Got caught a little bit, don't get me wrong, but he looked pretty good. Fanboys Lovejoy. Yeah, man, no doubt about it. No, Truth Son, man, it's the whole YouTube scene's full of them. Like when I first started watching YouTube boxing years and years and years ago, I wasn't even uploading. I started watching it maybe 10, 11 years ago. And back then, all it was prediction videos, some historical videos, post-fight reviews, and that was really it. There was none of this extra shit, promoter fanboys or anything like that. None of that existed back then. But this whole promotional fanboy thing and all of this nonsense is a new phenomenon, in my opinion. It's new. Virgil Ortiz is the next Fernando Vargas. Yeah, Alec Berdiev, unrivaled. Yeah, Alec Berdiev beat Nate Campbell and Juan Guzman. Yeah, he did. I forgot about him, unrivaled. I forgot about him. That's not a name I've heard. That's not a name I've heard from in a long, long time. Khabib Alec Berdiev. That was Broner's best performance as well when he beat him. Slow. See, it's the only word I could think of. No, I said not all there with Rolly Romero, didn't I? Well, mate, Juan Guzman could have been so much better. He was one of those fighters who actually used a shoulder roll effectively, Juan Guzman. Very good fighter, very talented fighter. But like you said, man, he wasn't disciplined, got fat. Again, got a bit of money and it went to his head, really. But he was a very talented fighter. Very talented fighter. John Ryder versus Lemieux is going to be a war. I agree. I'll tell you what, though, Boxing Virus, I think John Ryder's going to do a job on David Lemieux. I'm a bit of a John Ryder fan, but I genuinely think he's going to mash up David Lemieux. Ryder on the inside, I'll tell you what, is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. It looks like John Ryder's watched like Mexican fighters when you look at his style. Very, very tight on the inside with his punches, creates space for himself, punches at an angle. He's a very good fighter on the inside. And his jab, man, is very nice. Very nice. I like him. He's a very good fighter. Intangible boxing news. Salute to you, sir. I'm going to ask Dwyer's opinion on Naoka versus Tanaka. Go for it, man. Go for it. The opinion you should follow should be your own. Dwyer, folks, Joe Joyce can't beat Bermain Stavern. Christ. Christ almighty. Why have we got Sky Sports pundits screaming out of their minds at the side of a ring? What's all that about? Very unprofessional, AZ. And bear in mind, we live in an era now where there's no crowd. And the fighters can hear what that person is shouting. Would that basically be the same as somebody else going into a corner? Because that's illegal. An extra person in the corner is illegal. Somebody who's not, in part of that corner team. If another person goes in that corner, it's illegal. Surely someone shouting at ringside in full, where a fighter can hear it, surely that's illegal as well. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I mean, and Tony Bellew is supposed to be an analyst on Sky Sports, calling it objectively, and every single round, this guy's screaming his lungs out to Derek Chisora, saying what he needs to do, what he was doing well. It's just embarrassing. I mean, Tony Bellew should not have worked that fight. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? Shouldn't have worked that fight. Yeah, Gamboa and Lopez fucked around and missed a big money fight. Yeah, Juanma Lopez and Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yeah, they fucked around too long, and yeah, they missed out on it. Yeah, you're right, John Doe. Orlando Salido, he put bed to that fight ever happening when he knocked out Lopez twice. He knocked out Lopez back to back, didn't he? I believe. I think he knocked him out both times. Orlando Salido. Yeah, exactly. You're right, though. When you wait too long, that's what can happen. That's what marination does. You can marinate something for too long and it goes off. And that's what happened with that fight. It's what happened with Joshua and Wilder as well. Fucking around too much never happened. And it won't happen now. Yeah, that was Rigondeaux's best performance bar none. Bump of K. Rigondeaux that night was like just laser focused, man. His left hand was landing like so beautifully, man. Boxing circles around Donaire, making him miss, making him pay. That was Rigondeaux at his very best. Really, really good performance. And Donaire was much bigger that night as well. Watch that fight back and look at how much bigger Donaire was. Great performance by Rigondeaux. Really, really good performance. To me, that was the performance of the year in 2013. Rigondeaux versus Donaire. Performance of the year. One of the best performances of the decade, in my opinion. I'll go that far. Yeah, I think the Sky Sports bias is out of control, AZ. It's not just Sky Sports. I just think Sky Sports are the worst at it. They're the worst when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, BT Sports aren't great, but at least you get the sense that BT Sports at least remain professional. I don't get that with Sky. I mean, look, like I said, look at the USEC card. Tony Bellew screaming his lungs out while you could hear him on TV, while the fighter could hear him. I mean, it's embarrassing. This guy's supposed to be an analyst, impartial, breaking it down as it went on. But no, he wasn't doing that. Completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Doc, if Fury doesn't take Caballero serious, is he a potential banana peel? It's hard to say with Fury, Mr. Doc, because if you asked me that about Otto Wallin before the fight, I would have said no, to be honest, because Wallin can't really punch. He's not all that physically strong. He's just a good, solid boxer, solid southpaw boxer. So if you asked me that about Wallin before that fight, I would have said no. But it turned out, Otto Wallin was a problem. Potentially, Caballero is kind of tricky. He's a relatively good boxer, does the basics well. Not much of a power puncher, but he's a solid fighter. So, listen, the theory is Tyson Fury fights down to the level of his opponent. So maybe he could be a bit of a problem. Who knows? Who knows? Coogan's milking this Wilder crap. Shame he doesn't keep the same energy for certain boxers fucking up. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, this Wilder thing is like, it's just like easy content to make, isn't it, right now? I mean, I've made my video about, since Deontay Wilder came out with the excuses, I made one video, I believe, addressing that directly. And that's enough for me. That's enough, really. It's worth talking about, but I'm not going to make 10 videos on it, to be honest. Just too much. I'm going to say my piece, and that's really it. But listen, Coogan's hustling. He's doing what he's doing. It's his job, I guess. So I understand, but I only need to hear it once. I'm not interested what fucking Joe Gallagher's got to think about Deontay Wilder's excuses, or what fucking Joe Blogs has to say about Wilder's excuses. I don't care. I really don't care. Just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. Wilder, one that flew over the cuckoo's nest. Biography out now. Yeah, I need to see that film. I've still not seen that film. One that flew over the cuckoo's nest. I need to see it. I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm actually in the mood to watch the movie right now. I ain't gonna lie. I might do after this stream. I might do. Yard versus Arthur needs to happen. Apparently that fight's going to happen, LT. Apparently it's going to happen. Frank Warren said it's on, so fingers crossed. It's a good fight. I think Arthur's going to give Yard real problems early on with his movement and with his boxing. But eventually I think Yard's going to catch up to him. Arthur's problem is the fact that while he can box and move, he sits on the ropes far too often. In those moments, he's going to give Yard opportunities to land those big power shots and explode with combinations. So I could see a scenario where maybe Arthur's sort of level on the cards or even winning and then getting knocked out. I could see that happening. But I don't think it's an easy fight for Anthony Yard. That's the type of fight he needs right now, in my opinion. John Doe, genuinely, mate, I think the guy he beat on his debut was better than Dave Allen. Honestly, I think the guy he beat on his debut was better than Dave Allen. Oh, I saw that Harley Quinn impression, G-Man, the other day on your stream. That shit was fucking hilarious. Harley Quinn Bellew versus Guillermo Jones at cruiserweight. Who do you have? I'll tell you what, the Guillermo Jones that beat Denis Lebedev, I would take that version to beat Tony Bellew. I think he would just drag him into a war, outlast him basically. Because if Lebedev can't knock you out, I don't think Tony Bellew is going to. Like, Guillermo Jones had a great chin, really, really good chin. So I would take Guillermo Jones to beat Tony Bellew at cruiserweight. It'd be a good fight, though. It's not like it's a mismatch. Bellew could win that, but I would take Guillermo Jones. Very good fight. That's actually a decent fantasy fight. That's not one you're going to hear very often, and it'd be a good fight as well. That'd be a good fight. Whereas Turbo Terry nowadays, he's vanished. I don't know, Nathan, to be honest. I'm not all that interested in Turbo Terry. I think Terry was decent when he was at his best, but yeah, he is what he is, really, isn't he? Turbo Terry. He is what he is. I mean, if Jack Catterall's going to fight on this fucking Dubois card, why not fight someone like Flanagan? That would be a good fight for him right now, in my opinion. So do I, Hashman. I've got Ryder sparking Lemieux, and I think he's going to do a good job as well. I think he's going to dominate that fight. Maybe not dominate like that, but I think he's going to win comfortably. I really do, and I think he'll stop Lemieux. I think he can get on the inside and really work Lemieux over. To me, David Lemieux, his power is more effective at mid-range. If John gets on the inside, uses that stiff jab to get on the inside and works, I think he's going to beat Lemieux up, to be honest. I really do. I think he'll beat Lemieux up. But the problem is, like you say, Lemieux can crack. Lemieux can definitely punch. Or as John Doe said, Lemieux can punch. Yeah. That's a good fight, though, isn't it? That's a good fight. See, that's my sort of undercard fight. David Lemieux versus John Ryder. It's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight. Search Detroit Leagues on BitChute and YouTube after this stream, lads. I'll give it a watch, Big Dan. I'll give it a watch. I think his power's legitimate, bump of K, David Lemieux. Just his setup game is not great. It's like having a nuclear weapon but nothing to launch it. That's what David Lemieux's power's like. If he catches you with it, it's going to do some real damage, but he's not great at landing it, setting it up kind of thing. He's just really, really basic, really crude. David Lemieux, who really crude. I've got a bit of a soft spot for David Lemieux, though. I like watching him fight. He's a fun fighter to watch, David Lemieux. Loads up on every single punch. Fun to watch, man. Yes, we've got Apology knocking about. Big up to Apology, man. Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Nathan, Ryder's probably going to fight Chudinov next. I think Callum Smith might be fighting someone like Jürgen Bremer. Wouldn't be shocked. Chudinov wouldn't be terrible, Nathan, but I don't think Chudinov's anywhere near at his best anymore, to be honest. I think he's on the downward slide, but I would take it. I wouldn't hate on that fight. I wouldn't hate on it. As for Callum Smith versus Jürgen Bremer, that was a good fight when it was supposed to happen back in the Super Series days. But I think right now, Jürgen Bremer's past it. He's done. Too old now, I would say. I think Unrivaled and Hashman are going at it, I want to say. Yeah, I agree, Duck. Bremer was a very good fighter, but at this stage, I don't want to see him fight Callum Smith. It would have been a good fight when it was supposed to happen, though, like I said, when the World Boxing Super Series was happening, the first season, because that fight was supposed to happen. It got scheduled and everything, so shame we never saw it. I think Jürgen Bremer back then would have given Callum Smith some real problems. I really do. John Doe, David Lemieux or Dominic Breazeale? Who has less boxing IQ? I would say Dominic Breazeale. I think David Lemieux, he's got a better punch technique, a better jab. His technical skills are better than Lemieux's. Sorry, Lemieux's technical skills are better than Breazeale's. He's not much of a thinking fighter, but regardless, I'll say David Lemieux, a better boxing IQ than Dominic Breazeale. AZ, what time is it? 9:15, I bet. Sorry, what? Oh, I get you. I get you. Fuck's sake. Callum Smith will fight Morrell or Benavidez. I wish, mate. I wish. He's not going to fight Benavidez. No way. He won't fight Benavidez. It's not going to happen. He'd rather fight Avni Yildirim for that fucking WBC title. That's what they're trying to do. Because Callum Smith's the Diamond champion, they want to get Callum Smith versus Avni Yildirim. What a shit way to try and unify. Christ. It's bad, man. Really bad. If you were a matchmaker, who would you put Bec the Bully in with next? If I was a matchmaker, who would I put Bec the Bully in with next? It's a very good question. Do you know what? I'll chuck him in there with someone like Rocky Fielding. Just because Rocky Fielding's got somewhat of a name. and Beck the Bully's going to go through him like a doorway. So I think that would be a good fight for Beck to get his profile up. But in regards to like getting rounds and things like that, maybe it's a tough one, you know. Maybe someone like Ronald Gavril, someone like that. Ronald Gavril. I don't know really. Porky Medina, that'd be a good fight. These sort of guys, man. Porky Medina, Ronald Gavril. I think that'll be good. That'll be good fights for him. Good learning fights. Yeah, Porky Medina, 100%. Yeah, totally agree. Paul 123. Totally agree. I can't stand Spike O'Sullivan. That guy's a complete clown. Honestly, I can't stand him. When David Lemieux knocked that guy clean out, I was laughing. I was laughing. Carl Froch versus Nigel Benn. Who wins? Damn, that's a hard fight to call. Nigel Benn was a bigger puncher, and he was a lot more ferocious. But Carl Froch had a better chin, and arguably was a better boxer. In fact, I think Carl Froch was a better boxer than Nigel Benn. Certainly had a better jab. That's a hard one, you know. That's a hard one. Carl Froch versus Nigel Benn. Jesus Christ. It's a bit of a cop-out. But either a Carl Froch late stoppage or Nigel Benn on points. Because I think Nigel would outwork Carl Froch, maybe. But I think it could go late and Carl Froch could kind of like drown him and stop Nigel late. I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I think I'd have to sit on the fence on that one. Genuinely. That's a hard one, you know. That's a real hard one. How is the second lockdown affecting where you live, Del? Just like, you know, everything's closed really, you know, apart from supermarkets, pharmacies and whatnot, everything. You can't really do anything. It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I mean, what can you really do about it? I mean, it's demoralizing that so many people are still kind of willfully just accepting that their rights are being eroded away. I mean, regardless of what the reason is, people just accept it for like so easily. I mean, it's crazy, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What can we do, man? What can we do? Edgar Berlanga versus Thomas Williams Jr. Is that true? Thomas Williams hasn't fought in a long time. But I guess it's a good fight for him. I guess it's a good fight. But yeah, Thomas Williams used to fight at 175 pounds. As Hashman said. Wilder's a big dosser. Yeah, Froch was very slow, 100%. Nigel could outwork him. I don't think Nigel's knocking out Carl Froch though. No way. I don't see Nigel Benn knocking out Carl Froch. If anybody's getting knocked out in that fight, it's Nigel Benn, in my opinion. It's a close one, though. It's a close one. I'm pissed that Dillian versus Povetkin got cancelled. So am I, BG London. I was really looking forward to that rematch. I really was. Would have been very interesting, but it's going to get rescheduled January 30th by looks of it. So yeah, we've got it rescheduled. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. AZ, he says the product is watered down. Froch versus Butte 2012 Saturday night, non-pay-per-view. The anticipation made hair stick up on your arms. But it's true though, isn't it? Really, it's true. It's true. There's no quality control anymore. 100%. Get out of Dodge. Beautiful stuff, lads. Beautiful stuff. Hashman, he says Carl Froch versus the G-Man. I've got G-Man smashing him. To be honest, yeah, I would take Gerald McClellan beating Carl Froch. I would take Gerald McClellan. Like, Gerald McClellan was a monster puncher, man. He really was. Great straight puncher, good body work as well. Typical Kronk fighter, Gerald McClellan. Very hard puncher. How would you see? This is from Duck. Now, I'd actually like this fight. I would like this fight. How would you see old Frankie? Sorry, how would you see old Frankie versus Luis Ortiz go? Old Cuban Grandpa showdown should be co-main event on Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. I would still take Luis Ortiz, Duck. To be honest, in all seriousness, I would take Luis Ortiz. I'll take Luis. Just like during the first wave, we in France have to write the reason for getting out on a piece of paper to show the police. It's valuable for 1 hour. We can only go out for grocery shopping or work. Yeah, that's basically what's going on here, official. You can either go out for work or like essential shopping, basically. That's all you can go out for. I was out this weekend around a friend's house. A few of us went over there, had a few drinks. And yeah, apparently if somebody like catches you doing that in the UK, I've not really read up on it, but you can be fined 10 grand for meeting up with friends. That's insane. Absolutely insane. And people are just okay with it. Oh, the virus is deadly and blah blah blah. Bro, my rights, man. I'd rather have rights. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances, man. Yo, John Gonzalez, you're from Texas, right? That's literally the only place in the US I'd like to live is Texas, I would say. Texas or Miami, maybe. Yeah, Texas or Miami. Miami for the women, just Texas for like everything else, basically. Because I'm a fan of those like fucking Cubans and whatnot, those Colombians and South Americans. Something a bit more exotic. That's what I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean? Exactly, John Doe. I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, apparently. You know what I mean? But I mean, I made this point the other day on Twitter. In January, the Guardian newspaper, who are like a left-wing newspaper in the UK, in January, they were saying that how wrong it was for China to be locking down people into their homes due to coronavirus. They were saying it was wrong in January. And now these same people are praising it when it happens over here, championing it and saying it's what needs to happen. I mean, they was right the first time. It's totally wrong. Just stealing people's rights, making people live like farm animals. It's a complete disgrace. It really is. Complete disgrace. Yeah, Philo Bedeau, man. I'm into him, man. So you don't get any over here. You rarely get any South American women over here, or like Hispanic in general. They don't really come over here. In London, there's like a few Colombians and whatnot, but yeah, nothing. There's not many. There's no great numbers of them over here. Yeah, Texas official just seems like a great place, man. Just so much freedom, and I just love it. It just appeals to me, Texas. I'd love to like live on a ranch in the middle of a fucking desert. Do you know what I mean? Live on a ranch in the desert. Beautiful. Love it, mate. Love it. Be fucking amazing. yo, Unrivaled. The barbers over here are closed again, mate. They've closed again, man. I'm fuming. Got to wait now till December at the earliest to get a fucking haircut. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, Mr. Doc, man. See, that's one thing I'm jealous of you guys over. You get those fucking Hispanic women out there. You know what I mean? I'm kind of jealous, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, man, John. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Just in the middle of nowhere, yeah, just in like the fucking desert. Great view, be amazing. That'd be fucking amazing. If I win the lottery, yeah, that's what I'd fucking do. I'd probably move to like Texas, maybe. I think that's where I'd go because I feel I'd fit in. I feel I could fit in quite well over there. Yeah, yo, Saint Brit, mine's crazy. Yeah, like I get skin fades and mine's getting just fucked now. Like, it's just horrible. Yeah, John Gonzalez is not intrigued by Hispanic women. That old news to him, mate. Send them my way, man. Send them my way. Get them shipped over. Just put some breathing holes in the boxes. That's all I'm saying. When you ship them over, big up to TDA. Big up, man. Big up. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up. Just really a quick one. I hadn't done one for a little while. I think over a week, so I thought I'd fire up a quick live stream. Definitely enjoyed it. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you could smash the like though on the way out, that'd be much appreciated. Always helps out. Helps out the algorithm and whatnot. So yeah, man, smash the like, and yeah, man. Hopefully you guys have a good week, and yeah, keep on striving through these draconian times that we're living in right now. Peace.